Good morning, everybody. We're back again. Day trading, the NQ on a Friday morning. So yes, let me just get a screen up real quick. How's everyone doing in the chat? Cruz Anthony, get ready for long back to POC, point of control, or 25635. I'll have a look in a second. Thomas, good to see you again. Good morning to you. Good morning, TM Cloud as well. Get your cheese higher. Good morning to you. How's everyone doing today? Let's break down these charts real quick. We've just opened. I have yet to mark out my charts. This is still from yesterday. This is all old. So you know what? I'm just going to clean slate it. We'll let the open do its thing. I'll quickly just get these charts marked up. I'm going to get rid of the VWAP for now. And we're still very much ranging. All right. I'm just going to get any gaps drawn out real quick. Oh, we've got a lovely one up there. That would be nice if we reach that, actually. And then we got a nice one here. Okay, so we're trapped between two gaps by the looks of it. That's going to give us more direction when one of those breaks. And it is a Friday, so Friday can always be a bit of a weird day. All right, got my charts marked out. Pop back to the minute. And let's take a look at what we're doing. Con, good morning to you, and Omar as well. Good morning. Oh, look at this open. Look at this open. All right, let me bump this up to at least 20. Get bigger clusters. Right, so the open, bit of sell pressure came in, instantly got whacked out the market. Lots of buyers coming in right now. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I really don't want to be looking to sell until we get to, 25,743 around this gap area here. And I wouldn't want to buy until we get down to 25,539. So we're kind of dead in the middle. I mean, we have a little high here, but nothing spectacular. So I think it might push up back up to here, and then we can potentially get a trade in. Just going to get my cash accounts loaded up. Also, yes, Anthony, Cruz Anthony, target hit. Very nice. Very, very nice. Thomas, news in 15 minutes. You're right. There is news in 15 minutes. So that's actually quite good, because that means we don't have to rush. It's the flash manufacturing PMI and flash services. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. I wouldn't be opposed to potentially taking a buy here on this little dip. Nah, maybe not. Sell pressure is coming in way too strong. I thought it might, get defended a bit around this 300, but where this cluster was, 200, 100, 300, 97, it just blew right through. There was nothing. Yeah, there was no pushback really. I thought maybe we'd get something, but sadly not a big deal. Unless there is a potential buy here. Let me have a look. Nah, maybe not. Nah, buyers try to come in. It's too choppy. Very, very choppy. They're coming in again. I mean, we're not in any area, but one moment. Let me see if I can do. What have we had today? We've just had a range. I mean, we have had this kind of push up. I can do a volume profile from. All right, let's do a volume profile from this move up. See if that coincides to anything interesting. If not, I think my mouse is dying. Don't die on me, mouse. Well, let's see if that matches with anything. Oh God, yeah, yeah. Again, all it's just a big chunk of volume where we are now. It's range bound. There's nothing there. So when we're kind of, I guess we're in the lower half of the range still, but yeah, I wouldn't be super comfortable to buy unless we're, round here, because it could very easily just chop you out. So we'll wait for a bit. I do have an area marked out on trading view here. Why have I got this marked out? It was an older gap. It's not really in play anymore. Okay. Okie dokie. I mean, it's been filled, but it has reacted quite a few times. It may have a bit of a reaction. So let's see what happens when we get in here. Potentially there might be a buy trade, because I do think the market wants to push up at least back up to here. So we'll see. Could be potential. But the buyers are very much, I mean, especially these guys at the top here, they're all trapped. I mean, they'll be out the market by now, but it's not looking good for the original buyers at all. All right, let's see if there's anything. Oh, look at that volume. 5. Oh, wow. Okay. I've got my finger ready to potentially buy. That's not a bad rejection straight away. I'm front running it just based on the fact that was up to 500. It's back down to 360. Those, if we stay above them, above those sellers, we've got something. But then we need to now have, again, front running completely here, because we need aggressive buyers to come in order to get this market up. There we go. There we go. There's some aggression coming in. Let's not fail at the top here. This could go so quickly back to my entry, so I've got to be quick to flatten. Come on. Come on. Oh, they're starting to die. Nah, they're getting absorbed. All right, we'll take that real quick. Super quick scalp, because when the market's this choppy, it's one candle and then boom, you're back down again into drawdown. So you might as well. Plus, we got the news coming out. We'll wait a little bit. Yeah, see, one candle, we would have been back to my entry. It's very risky scalping the open like that. Wait for price acceptance. Exactly, Cruz Anthony. Benjamin, good evening to you. Can you tell me more about this absorption? How do you execute the trade when you know it's time, like it's your instinct to take the trade? I know it takes time and experience. So, oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. So, okay, how can I put this? Essentially, when you're looking at the footprint, you want to ignore small numbers, pretty much. When the numbers are small, so you need to have a good range of numbers of what to expect on whichever instrument you're trading, right? So on the NQ, I would say anything over 150 is considered pretty decent, right? It's something you should look at. And if it reaches like 500, like it did there at one moment, that is like really the upper bound of what you're seeing on NQ. You don't see that very often, right? So the range of like pretty much ignore anything, I would say below 100, just ignore it essentially. It's almost, it's just kind of, it's flat. But then you also got to take in consideration the kind of volume you're seeing as a whole. Like here, we're seeing easily 100 is being crossed. So when you see 100, it's not like as amazing anymore, right? So you want to take into account, the highest volume you're kind of seeing. What is really big volume clusters, right? So obviously this 400 is huge. 200 is decent. That's definitely big. So you want to keep your eye on whenever the numbers go very big, what is actually occurring at that time. So when that number got really big, it got up to can't remember, 500 something, right? And then it dropped down, back down to 400, right? And it didn't go any lower. It just stopped. Price stopped there for a few seconds and just couldn't go any lower despite, 500 sell contracts coming in. Okay. So that's straight away absorption, because in the book, the reason it stopped there, and the only reason it can ever stop, is because somewhere in the order book at this price level, there were buy limits, right? So like a pending order in this area, buy limits, right? And there was enough of them to stop large volume on the sell side. Now, you don't know how big that order is, right? It could be 1,000 contracts, could be 700, no idea, right? Because they're all iceberg orders, so you don't really see the full size of it on the order book, right? But nonetheless, that's a big order, right? So considering 500 sell contracts couldn't really break through, therefore there's a good chance that if we start going up a little bit and buyers come in, it's going to push up for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Now, that's essentially how you spot absorption, right? Does it make sense what you're seeing? If it doesn't make sense, then that's probably absorption, right? 500 contracts couldn't push it down. Something doesn't add up, right? That's absorption. And again, you can see that there is obviously like a big buyer in the book somewhere around here. Now, they're not just on one level. They're going to be spread across, an area, right? And you can kind of see the areas. That's a terrible drawing, but you can kind of see the areas here, right? You got lots of big sellers coming in, and they're really struggling to get this market down, right? So there's obviously a buyer in the market pushing the market up. And then notice when buyers do come in, they're a bit more efficient at getting the market up. They don't have to put as much volume in this area to get the market up, right? So that's why that's a good indicator that probably, as long as the buyers keep pushing and keep adding more volume into the market, they could get this market up. So that's essentially all you're looking for, inefficiencies in the market, essentially, right? I hope that kind of makes sense. Now look at that, it's just shot up. So I got in very early, and yeah, didn't really I missed the main move. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? So that area did kind of hold amazingly. It didn't look too good, but it kind of held. And again, it is technically a previous low. So let's see if we can actually get to the top now. Maybe we get a pullback within this area, potentially a pullback somewhere, and then we can, continue. That would be nice. But I'm quite confident we're probably going back up to at least this area, and that's where I want to short. Let me just double check that's correct. I can't. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. If point of control shift lower, look for long. Where is the point of control today? Because I haven't got the daily volume profile up. I've just got a fixed range one. Okay, there's almost. Yeah, the point of control is keeping price. We're trading majority of the time below the point of control, which is, definitely more on the bearish side. Yeah, it's these gaps at the top here that I feel are going to be excellent places to short. I mean, we had one test a few hours ago, and that looked really nice how it pushed down. That's really, the golden area I want to short, to be honest. But if we break above them, then I am long. I'm long. But while we're in the middle between these two areas and around the point of control, that's a dangerous territory, especially as a scalper. If you're a swing trader, fine, because your stop is going to be like a mile away. You can handle all the little swings. But as a scalper, yeah, you can get eaten up alive in these areas. So this is not good territory for scalping. Benjamin, I think I probably wait for the price to hit the fixed range volume and look for absorption and big volumes to look at those mark and execute, and also have a tight stop loss and good risk reward. Yes, absolutely. Like, you really only want to be trading in areas that you have kind of marked out as areas of interest. Oh, here's the news. Here we go. Because trying to scalp the footprint, at any point, at any time, there are times where you get a bullish candle, bearish candle, bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear, and you're trying to scalp that, you get eaten up. Because whenever you're in a range-bound market, you almost got to flip what you're doing. You got to do the opposite of what you would normally do. Some people are good at kind of recognizing, right, we're range-bound, and they instantly, if they were going to normally buy, they would sell, and they kind of flip their strategy. So that's, if you're capable of doing that and you're very kind of quick to do the opposite, once you recognize we're in a range, that can work as well. So let's just see the figures out, what's going on. A little worse than expected on flash services PMI, but nothing, and completely flat on flash manufacturing. All right, well, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So I wouldn't imagine that will do much to the market. Okay. I want to have a quick look at the daily as well. See what we're looking at. I'll just switch it to candles and get rid of all the drawings. Oh, that looks better. Notice recently, though, as well, we've opened up with a lot of gaps, daily gaps. Okay, that was a weekend gap, but then yesterday we opened up with a gap, and I think today as well we opened up with a gap as well. Yeah, the opens here, closes up here, so we've opened up again with a gap. That is that's when there's a lot of volatility in the market. If we're gapping, because there's a ton of volume and a lot of indecision, and we're still in this damn range on the daily. We I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's expanding a little bit. It's getting, the swings are getting a bit bigger. They were getting squeezed for a while, and now they're getting a little bit bigger. So who knows? Well, we might look at that. It's just straight back down again. Completely range bound. All right. Sid M. Hi, Sammy. Would not 5 minute give a better visibility? 5 minute can certainly help. It depends on your kind of style. A 5 minute is good more for like when the market has a bit more extension. Because like if you're doing it like on a very tight range bound market, this is very difficult to read, right? But if you have like a decent extension, decent trends, 5 minutes do work very nicely. So it depends on the conditions of the market. It's good to kind of switch around and know where you are on the longer time frames as well. Because sometimes you see something on the 5 minute that you weren't aware of. On the 5 minute, this looks actually quite clear in a weird way. Like how buyers are trapped up here, and we're staying below them. So that would give a bit more indication for the sell side, but again, things can, that could have already been a move, and that's it. Momentum can shift super quick. But 5 minute, yeah, absolutely. You can why not? 5 minutes, great as well. Benjamin, do you usually trade on the point of control? Personally, no. I like to avoid the point of control. I will use the point of control for kind of targets. Like if I'm in a trade and we touch the point of control, I would look at, okay, probably getting out, because I can imagine, like, very rarely does the market just kind of blow right through the point of control. So if you're in a good trade, you're in profit, and you've touched the point of control, expect something to happen, right? It doesn't mean a reversal, but expect at least the market will start consolidating or messing around or becoming a bit choppy or whatever. So if you don't want to sit through that as a scalper, then get out at the point of control. So it's a good place to target, but personally I wouldn't want to enter at the point of control, just because the choppiness is elevated, very much elevated. What about the point of control on each candle? Yeah, I mean, 1 minute that would just look insane. Like if I turn on the point of control for the candle, so anything in black is basically the point of control. I mean, if you can figure out how to trade that, fair play to you. But for me personally, that's becoming a bit too. I guess you can look at like clusters. So there was a lot of heavy volume here. All the point of controls were quite close together. And then we had an expansion up. So maybe as we get back into that area, there might be defensive play. You can look at, I mean, again, you can probably build a strategy around it. But I think for me, it'll be a little bit too hectic and confusing. Just because there's so much data, it becomes overwhelming. But hey, I mean, that's the beauty of trading, right? On the 5 minute, the 5 minute will probably, I mean, for me, that would be. Okay, what you also want to look at though, so a good point of control, if you are going to do this candle based point of control, is, we're just ranging, right? We're going up and down, up and down. So this is a bad example. But if I look at, okay, here, for example, right? We were in a range, and then this point of control, for the move that actually moved up, it started here, right? That was the heaviest volume. So you could have an argument that if we get back to that kind of area or around that area, it might be a good place to potentially take a long, right? So as we go close to it, it might be all right to take a long. So if you mark out the point of controls that actually created something, a move, do you know what I mean? That actually had some kind of meaning, then absolutely, yeah, I could see how if you mark those out and kind of ignore the noise of all the others, because there's so much noise. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, this 250 here, it doesn't really mean anything. Right, we've traded above and below it many times. Just ignore it. It's probably not going to have any effect, right? But the ones that kind of spark the move off, whether up or down, that could probably have a bit more meaning to it. So something you can probably backtest and try out and play around with. And if you see some good positive results with it, try implement it. Why not? But maybe on the 15 minute, you might get a bit more accurate data. Man, this is looking messy. Here we go. So on the 15 minute but you got to remember, the point of control just shows the most heavy volume, right? It doesn't actually show any imbalance or anything, right? So these are just the heaviest volume. Most contracts were traded here, but the delta is actually in -30. So it was relatively balanced, right? But the big delta, the imbalance, right, was up here, 190. So I would more likely be happy to consider this area, that 190, as an area of interest, right, rather than just the 30. But again, entirely up to you on how you kind of, you have to backtest it. I've never truly backtested it or really done much with the point of control on each candle. So everything I'm saying could just be a load of crap, really. Like, I have no data to kind of back it up with. Hey, Tom, good morning to you. No trade day for me today. I knew this is going into the day when I did my charts this morning. Price is super balanced today. I prefer imbalanced markets. Yeah, very, very up and down. A lot of indecision. But what we can do is look at the cumulative from the start. So where we kind of started this quite big range, we were at what the hell's going on here? Are you seeing this? Okay, I have no idea what the cumulative delta is because I literally don't know. I can't read that. Trading view. Come on, this is sloppy. What is this? All right, we'll take the next candle then. Well, I can kind of figure it out. Look, if it was 1,000 contract, I can kind of, so an extra 1,000 came in. We were at negative 300, so plus 700 roughly. All right, I can figure it out. Okay, we started around plus 700, and we are still very much in that range, and we're at plus 200. So a bit more sell pressure came into the market than buy pressure. And we're going flat. So I'd be more inclined to buy, but it's still pretty flat for the most part. I'd be more inclined to buy. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect range. We've got a little bit of a, higher low here. We're getting a bit of structure, a slight bit of structure if you kind of ignore this. But we're kind of getting there now. We're breaking up. Yeah, okay. I'd still be more inclined to buy, yeah. And here's the breakout, maybe. Is it a true breakout, false breakout? Let's have a look. All right, lots of breakout traders coming in. Trading point of control on every 5-minute candle would be confusing. Yeah, it would. I think I'd blow my brains out after a while trying to figure it all out. You'd have to be, I don't know, have to be some kind of AI brained person to do that. But there are some people, their minds, they just work like that. They're very good at. It was a false breakout by the looks of it. All right, fair enough. We're still not ready. What I may be inclined to buy if we reject off this point of control here. If we see, buying come in, because usually what happens on a breakout, so you get the breakout and you kind of come back a little bit, maybe about to the midpoint of the range, and then you do the continuation, especially when the structure starts forming. Because this is slowly, I mean, to me, it's looking quite bullish. So, and it looks like we are, yeah, it looks like this might actually be a legit breakout. But we'll wait. I don't like playing the breakouts. I don't like trading them. Been caught out too many times trading breakouts. I'd rather wait to win an area of interest. I took a fat trade yesterday off the 5-day point of control for a short. Beautiful. Very good. Come on, let's see what we got here. Jesus, what am I doing? There we go. All right. All these windows. Oh. Okay. I wonder, though, on this push down, if we got anything of interest here. Nothing. Not terrible, actually. We've got tiny little gaps here that might have a little reaction. I'm gonna draw them out just to see if there's even if it's just a one candle scalp. because again, unfortunately, today at 4 p.m. I have a meeting. So in an hour's time, I will have to leave. But so I want to kind of get I don't know, something. Remember, we're below previous day point of control, so they would want to trade back to it. Yeah. I think ultimately we're still going to go up for a bit. My real short won't be until here. But if we, maybe just get one or two candlesticks bearish, if I see something good in these little areas, I may take it. Bit of a front run. So we're at 100, 200 now. We just blew right through. My God, look at that. Ooh, it almost looks like a news candle the way it's moving. Wow. There is nothing's come out, has it? That's moving really quick. What just came out? Oh, nothing. All right. Fair enough. Maybe this one. Oh, look how choppy it is. That moved like a news candle. Michigan sentiment final. Oh, did it come out? Let me have a look. Oh, yeah, 3 p.m. How did I miss that? On the candle. Not on the candle, on the calendar. Oh, of course. Yeah. That looked like a news candle. I usually don't. I have I've only got red folder news switched on, so all the orange and yellow folder is invisible. But yeah, you're right. Well, there you go. There you go. That's a little bit of a... It might not be bad to potentially long it, especially if we get back into this kind of area. Sellers are struggling. It's not potentially a bad... It just didn't get enough of a pullback for me to... Because my TP would be just up here. So I wouldn't have much of a risk reward. Damn. Oh well. Maybe we get a pullback. Nah, I doubt it. It missed it. It's fine. We could see a potential type move up here. Bit of aggressive selling, but nah, the buyers are just a lot more stronger right now. Look at that. They're just piling it on. I'm not seeing these numbers drop really. 170, 189, 150. Okay. A bit of sell pressure coming in. A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But ultimately, that just... There's absorption happening because look, the numbers are big, 200. There's a lot of passive absorption happening, but there's no real aggression to follow it through. So, not for me. I think it will break. I mean, there's definitely... something there, but there's next to nothing aggression from the sell side. A little bit coming in now, but they get eaten up very quickly. The balance is still very much on the buyers. So look at that. Another 100. There's definitely an iceberg here, though. But it's not the biggest. I don't think it's that big of an iceberg. Yeah. I think it'll break through. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. At least we're coming back now to... Oh, no wonder I got this pen tool on. I was trying to select the chart and it wouldn't work. So what's going on? What is going on? All right, as we get back to this area, this is where I am interested in. I am very, very interested. What is an iceberg? So an iceberg is essentially, imagine right now, imagine you want to sell right here at 25,720, okay? And you've put a bunch of sell limit orders, right? So like a limit sell like this, right? Like one of these here. Now that order will appear, I'm going to just cancel it just in case it gets triggered, but that order will appear in this book here, right? At that price point. So now imagine you want to sell 1,000 contracts, right? You could just place 1,000 there, but then everyone will see there's 1,000 sell limits there. And no one's really going to want to buy into that because it's a massive order, right? So you're probably not going to get many people taking the other side of the trade, right? And we're probably going to struggle to get there. So an iceberg, in order to keep hidden, what institutions do is that they'll place 20 orders, and they'll use an algorithm for this. They'll place, like 20 or whatever, like a normal amount that's kind of expected, right? 10, 20, whatever there. And then the moment 20 get executed, this algorithm instantly adds another 20 and then adds another 20 and then adds another 20. So just like an iceberg where you see, the tip of the iceberg is visible, but under the water, it's like the majority of it. That's essentially all an iceberg order is. It's a hidden large order in the book, right? And you can see them in the footprint because price will execute like there was an iceberg here, right? Because in order for those 242 and 215 buyers to have entered the market, right? These are aggressive buyers. So these are buyers who literally hit the buy button, right? In order for them to get executed, every time you hit the buy button, it matches you up with the next available sell limit, right? So in order for them to even exist and enter the market, there must have been at least 500 extra sell limits in the book, right? And because price didn't really go any higher, that means there was more orders on that level, sell limits, than there were aggressive buyers, right? So that's how you can spot an iceberg. Now, there's icebergs everywhere, right? Theoretically, they're pretty much like on pretty much every level, there's some form of iceberg, right? But you really only want to pay attention to the ones that obviously are pretty damn big. Like there's one here. You can just kind of tell in this area there's an iceberg because there's a lot of buy volume and we're not going any higher. Which means that there's a big seller basically. But you got to also remember an iceberg could be to enter or exit the market. It could be used for both, right? If I'm already in the market, let's say I bought down here and I want to exit as an institution. I've got I've bought 1,000 contracts down here somewhere, right? And I'm now happy to take my profit. If I can't just, click exit, because what would happen if I click, cancel or flatten, right, on 1,000 orders right now, look at how many, are available on each price level, right? So in order to get 1,000, what would happen is that the market will gap extra, like quite a lot in order to fill the whole 1,000 aggressively. And my true exit price wouldn't be up here where I initially wanted to exit. I will average down to maybe like down here or something will be my exit price. In other words, I get a shit exit, massive amounts of slippage, right? So that's no good to me. I don't want to exit down here. I want to exit at the good price. So the only way I can exit and remain at a good price is by exiting passively. So I would essentially, if I was in a buy, it would be then sell limits would be my exit, right? A take profit, no different to your take profit would be a sell limit, right? So I would scatter them and I'll use an algorithm to turn it into an iceberg. So a lot of sell limits, like the sell limits that are here, could be institutions, at least could be people just taking profit, right? From after this big move here, they're happy with their profit and they're just getting out, unloading orders passively. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that iceberg is a big, seller wanting to push the market down. It could just be a buyer who's already in the market and wants to basically get out, right? Because an iceberg is only one half of the equation, right? What you would want to see is if now let's say hypothetically this is a seller, right? This iceberg order here that we're currently in at is a true seller who wants to actually push the market down, right? They're right now building up a position, right? Okay, here. Now, if they truly wanted to push the market down, what you would want to wait for is they will enter aggressively once their order has been filled. So say they want to enter 1,000 contracts, they will set an iceberg, once their 1,000 contracts have been filled, they will then enter aggressively to try get that market down. So that's why you always want to wait wherever you see the iceberg or the absorption. You want to wait till you trade below it and then effective aggression coming in, pushing that market down. That's your confirmation, right? So when I front run trades, I front run it because I'm jumping in before the aggression comes in, just so I can, potentially get right at the top and have a really tight stop. So, or you can not front run it and have a bigger stop, but have a higher success rate. Whichever option, both work. Yeah, pick your poison. Basically, they're both two valid ways of doing it. Personally, I prefer to front run just because I don't know. I don't even know why. I just kind of like being able to scale in and have a tighter stop loss. It makes me feel better. If I get stopped out at a small stop loss, it feels better than a bit of a bigger one. It's a bit annoying. So, but again, that's personal preference. So, wait for price acceptance where they at, then look for price to push higher. Damn right. What up, Meet Dadhania? What's up, friend? How are you? Umschaud. Hey, Sammy, how are you? I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you? Cruz Anthony, I'm anticipating lower. Yeah, there's definitely. I think there's a lot of unloading happening here. I'm still going to be a little bit. Let me actually check the cumulative, because that always gives me a good. Because this is a really nice tight range, so it will give me a bit more of an idea. We started at 2.7. We're now at 9. I think this is just unloading. I think that's a lot of these buyers here getting out of. I think this is profit taking. I don't think it's a true move yet. I would be more inclined to still buy at this moment in time, just because a lot of sellers are coming in aggressively, but they aren't pushing this market down either. They're actually way less effective than the buyers still. We're talking over 1,000 contracts. In fact, if we're at the bottom of the range, if we get right to the bottom and then have like a little dip like we're getting now, and I see a bit of absorption, I'm going to jump in for potentially a buy. All right, there's a dip. Let's see, a bit of absorption. I'm going to jump. Oh, come on. I'm going to jump in because I think this is a fake move. I got a terrible price, but I'm going to have a stop just below here. Come on. I think this is a little false breakout. I think this is profit taking. I don't think this is a true sell move. Come on. Come on. Any second now. Any second. Come on. That pop should happen. Pop back up. Come on. A ton of sellers coming in. Oh my God. But they are really struggling. 200, 200, 200. That's 970 there. Another 200. We're still bullish, even though there's majority sellers. This should pop up very quickly. There we go. Come on. Come on. Oh, still an iceberg. Still, there's a clear iceberg. You can see that number just staying the same and not going anywhere. That's true absorption on the passive side. But we kind of broke through that one. There's probably more. I think there's a lot of profit taking from buyers, essentially. A lot of these original buyers unloading orders, essentially. There's a bit of more aggression. Come on, let's get to the top of the range. I don't know why I got this blue line here. Come on. I'm going to set this to break even now, just because of how crazy this market's moving. That way I can kind of, step back a bit. And if it gets me out, it gets me out. Come on. I don't want to see it dip any lower, really. I mean, it's these buyers here I expect it to hold at. So there we go, we're holding a bit. I need to see this turn green. I want to see this turn green. I want to see these buyers keep holding this area here now. Go in for a push up. Come on. Let's break out this range. What time is it? No, we're still good. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, come on. Come on. Don't get me out. Don't you dare hold here. That's annoying. So close. We almost had it. But it's fine. Break even. Who cares? Those buyers, they couldn't hold it. We're still, it's so choppy, man. The way this is moving is dirty. My original stop loss would probably, going to break even there on such a choppy market was probably, but it's fine. When the delta is positive, the market makers are increasing. So this is Ivy League saying, are increasing their shorts, and when the delta is negative, the market makers are getting long. They are feeding the sheep when they run the stops. So yeah, kind of true. But the idea that they hunt stop losses is ultimately not really true. Your stop loss, and that just happens to be where there is liquidity, but it's not like we're not even noticeable as retail traders. They don't even see us. Like, truth be told, we're so invisible in this market. Because look, even one contract, right? Most retail traders, even with like big accounts, right? Say you got $1 million account, you're probably not going to be doing more than 25 minis at any given time. Probably less. If you're smart with your money, you're probably trading 15 minis. 15 minis on the overall volume is next to nothing, right? And again, you're not going to really be doing that too aggressively either. I mean, you can handle that aggressively without really making much of an impact, but like, we're just invisible. Do you know what I mean? Everyone is noticing the big numbers, and this is just the delta, so the difference. The actual true volume is yeah, it's a lot. Like, 594. Like, even if you got $1 million account, you're you're still, and that's leveraged as well, right? Like we're invisible essentially. No one even notices us. All we want to look for is kind of the market always has liquidity. It's all ice. It's all hidden. The liquidity is hidden, right? Just as I explained with icebergs, what you're seeing in the order book is not the true depth of the liquidity that's available, right? Because if you look at the contracts traded versus what you see on the depth of market, it doesn't add up, right? That's where icebergs come in. Everyone is trying to hide their positions in the markets. The big players, they want to hide. They don't want everyone to see their position because, in order to keep, like, look, if I want to unload 1,000 contracts in the market, right, the liquidity is there to do it, but I would cause the market to gap, right, and I would get a shit price for that. So I don't want to do that. Or if I want to buy 1,000 contracts, I will buy at a worse price and I will cause slippage, right? So the only way I can do it is hide my orders with icebergs in the order book passively, right? So the liquidity is there passively. It's just hidden. Do you know what I mean? It's all hidden essentially. Retail traders' liquidity, you could probably see, because everyone sets their stop losses and take profits and stuff like that, right? So that stuff is quite visible, right? But the institutional liquidity that's available, all hidden, man, all hidden. No one is showing their, if you ever see a huge number in the order book, generally speaking, it's spoofing. Like you'll see it get before we ever get there, because no institution is going to show their cards like that, because you want your order to be executed. You don't want people to be scared of getting near that kind of, no one's going to buy if they know there's an institution here passively wanting to sell 5,000 contracts. No one's going to buy then, right? Like, so then their order will never get filled. Okay. So they have to hide it in the order book. So they'll only make 20 visible, right? And when we get there, the 20 gets executed. And then an algorithm adds another 20. So 40 gets executed. And it will just stay there. And that's why the price doesn't go anywhere. That's why a range is accumulation, essentially, because it's just accumulating passively in order. But the liquidity is there. It's just hidden. Oh, here we go. We're getting to that area. I'm looking for short at low volume node. Am I wrong? No, that's what I'm looking for as well. I'm potentially looking in this area. So what I want to see is buyers get trapped. So the good news right now is we have a big amount of buyers that came in. Now I want to see potentially an iceberg. We're seeing that kind of figure out here. Look at that 400. It's just stopped. That's already an iceberg. So I could front run it already, right? If I wanted to front run a trade, I could jump in. I'm going to do it here for, I shouldn't be front running too much, but I can front run this trade just iceberg right there. Now, if we get above the iceberg and break it, and there's no aggression that comes in from the sell side, then this is not going to work out, and I'm going to get stopped out, right? So we're kind of looking like we might break it just now. Are we going to break it? We're very close. That's why I can have a super tight stop when you front run, and then you can target, whatever on your take profit. You figure that out in a second. So, but we haven't had any confirmation that the short's going to work out yet, because what needs to happen in order to get the confirmation, if you want to be a bit more safe with the move, you want to get below all. So we've identified there's an iceberg. That's number one, an absorption. Good. Number two, we want to get below these buyers, like not just a tick below, but a little bit below. And number three, we want to get below with sell pressure, aggression, so actual real sell pressure come in that is effective. Not just any sell pressure, it has to be effective. That's when all criteria is marked, and that's when the true confirmation is there. So we're getting a bit of sell pressure, but it's not really effective. They're not really pushing the market down, right? So we're still not, like, this could still very easily get stopped out. This iceberg could very easily get broken, and this isn't the area, right? But therefore, that's why you have tight stops, you know, and you can front run it with really tight stops. So we're just waiting, but there's definitely an iceberg. Again, you know, 300, another 300, didn't go any further up, right? That means that in the order book, there's at least over 600 additional sellers, or were at least in the order book, absorbing those buyers, right? So how big that iceberg is, God knows. No one knows. We'll never know. You know, that's just that's anyone's guess, essentially. There's no way of knowing how big it is. It could only be 700 contracts, and it could break very quickly after that. But it could be 5,000 contracts. We don't know. And that's the shitty part about it. Again, more aggression coming in from the buy side. They're starting to slowly break it, and they finally broke it. So we never got that sell aggression. We never truly got below it. So in the move just unfortunately was not there. Do you know what I mean? So we wait a bit. We wait for the same thing to happen until, you know, it actually happens. But it's still very much in play, though. Like, this area would still very much be in play. But you wouldn't want to just jump in blindlessly again. You would want to wait now for like a bit of confirmation. So entirely up to you how you play it. If you want to front run, just know you're going to get stopped out more often, but your stops are going to be smaller. Or if you want to wait for confirmation, you're going to get bigger stops, right? You're going to have bigger stops, because by the time, you know, you got confirmation, price might be down here. So your stop, rather than being, you know, 13 points, your stop will have to be, you know, 30 points or something. So you can kind of weigh up but you're going to have a higher success rate. And I think, you know, if you probably did a calculation on which one is more profitable, they're probably about the same. Yeah. Okay, so we're slowly starting to see that it's actually just, maybe my stop was a little bit too tight, and getting stopped out. But you're seeing that now. This is where you want to keep your eye. How effective are these sellers? This is the last piece of the puzzle. Are these sellers effective, or are they're not very effective? They're coming in, but okay, they're actually doing all right. A little bit of buying. Oh, and yeah, they were okay. Let me just get my cash account up real quick, because I'm missing all these moves. Well, I've got to lower that. Let me just check what kind of range we're looking at here. Let's measure 30 points. All right, I want to drop that. 1 second. Let me just 30 points. I'll do 10 minis. 10 minis is fine, potentially, for a trade. Do you have a father called Robert and grew up in Dagenham, or do I have to? That's not me. No, I don't have a father called Robert, and I didn't grow up in Dagenham. I'm quite intrigued now. Who Ivy League? Who are you thinking of? Like, is it someone who looks like me, or is there like a doppelganger of me out there that I don't know? If you have like I don't know, a link or something, send it. I want to see this. It's the surname. Oh, okay. Nah. Gotcha. Nah, that's not me. I thought maybe there was like some other YouTuber or something on, I don't know. or someone who looks like me. Because I had that once. I can't remember where I was, but I was going through a drive-through, and the person at the drive-through was like, "Weren't you here 5 minutes ago?" I was like, "No." No, like someone literally looks identical to you just ordered 5 minutes ago and was in this drive-through. And ever since then, I was like, "Who was this person? I want to know it." Like, I don't think the worker at the drive-through was trolling me or anything. They seemed sincere about it, but like, I was wondering, like, who is this person who looks identical to me? Do you know what I mean? Um, that would be, yeah, it would just be interesting to meet that person who looks like you. So we're still very much kind of ranging. Uh, just want to get my cash account prepared for potentially a trade. I'm still not seeing it though. Still not quite seeing it. So I do have to say, guys, in 30 minutes, I do have to exit. I have to leave the live. Unfortunately, I have a meeting um, at 4 p.m. here. So it is what it is. Am I going to come back after? It's not, I don't know. I mean, if you guys really want me to come back, I can, because I'll have, it's not going to be a long meeting. It's not an interview. It's just literally a work meeting. So it's like 30 minutes or so. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want me to come back, I can absolutely come back. I was planning on making some videos, recording some videos for the channel um, this evening, but I can stream for like an hour and then record the videos. If you guys want to, then I can certainly come back. So let me know if it's something you want me to do. If you're busy, it's fine. Just go and enjoy your weekend, brother. You deserve it. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. What are all your plans for the weekend? Has anyone got any good plans? I have no plans this weekend. I've so I don't know if any of you guys um live in the UAE or anything. If you're going to that trading expo in Dubai, but I'll be there. Obviously representing Ola Prime. So I don't know if any of you guys happen to be there and you see me, say hello. It's a long shot because there's only like 50 people or so in the stream, but you never know, there might be. But yeah, in February I'll be, so for a week, unfortunately I won't be able to stream because I'll be in Dubai at that expo. Um, but I plan on making like a bunch of videos. So I got at least a video a day to upload on the channel. Does that make sense? Um, I thought you could only use Project X with Top Step. Yeah, so this is basically just like right now a demo account because we've dropped Project X, and basically no prop firms using Project X other than, I shouldn't actually say their name, but yeah. So we're getting out. So at the moment we have DX Futures, but we're releasing Ninja Trader and Tradeovate, right? So I'm waiting for, we're almost there, like maybe in a week's time or something, we'll have Ninja Trader and Tradeovate available. So I'm waiting for my account, my basically Ninja Trader I'm waiting for. So right now, this is not even real. This is pure demo right now. So I could full port this and it literally wouldn't matter. Oh, we're getting something. We're getting In fact, since I've made it clear it's a demo, let's full port this account. Like, it literally means jack all right now. This is purely just because I don't want to use DX futures. But once I got the Ninja Trade account, that will be real. So I can't be full porting stuff. Like, I gotta take that seriously. It's like minus 30 over here in Canada, so not much to do. Oh, minus 30. I can't even comprehend that kind of temperature. Doing my tax return. Oh shit! Yeah, of course. End of January, I got to do mine. I've yet to finish it, so I've got like 8 days. That's like the worst time of year. End of January and end of July, because I pay half the tax in January and then another half in July. That's the worst time, man. It's always depressing when that happens. Like, so depressing. Hey, what's up? I just got home and I see NQ has rocketed. Have you taken trades looking for continuation? Charis, I have like taken a couple. I can't even remember what I took, to be honest. I actually forgot. But yeah, I took a couple, but nothing spectacular. I'm still waiting for a short in this area. What I do like is all this volume. I want to see if we get below this volume. I'm not going to front run it this time, but I may full port. It's a Friday. It's just demo money, so it doesn't matter. And for shits and giggles, why not? We'll have a little fun as well. I think we all wish he came back. I can come back. I'll come back for like an hour after the meeting. And why not? Okay, so I really want to trade below here now. I really want to trade below. Well, yesterday I said we hit previous week high. Let's see. Oh, yes, you did. You did indeed. You did indeed, Charis. Every time the sellers come in, they just get aggressively bought up. They don't get absorbed, but they get aggressively pushed back. Like, those buyers are very, very good at the moment. They're really holding the line here. So I don't think it's ready yet. It's not ready. Not ready. But we have had a lot of absorption. I do think it's mostly profit taking though. So I think this is still going to keep going up until it becomes true. I think all the absorption we're seeing is basically profit taking. I don't think it's true because there's no real sell aggression backing it up. Like a little bit we had here, but nothing. It's all just, buyers from earlier on unloading their positions. That's why we're not getting the follow through or the aggression. Like, we're getting smidges here, but instantly they get bought up. Let's see. This is looking a little bit more interesting now. This is looking a bit better now because it's not dropping the numbers. They're staying over 100, 140, 150. Looking a bit better, but we're still very much in that area of those buyers, so it's not quite there yet. Drop back down to 20. They did get aggressively bought up again. Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah, but that was a little glimmer of hope. Oh, okay. Okay. That is a little glimmer of hope for the sellers here. Again, you could front run this. Shall I front run full port? Let me know in the chat. I'll full port right now. Front running it. Do it, Cody. Do it. All right. Let's full port front run. This is so stupid. All right. The moment sellers come in a little bit, I'll full port it. All right. Should we? No, they didn't come in really. We're trading kind of above them, so not right this second. We'll get right to the top and we'll full port it. Sellers came in. I'm full porting. I'm in. Full port. Full port, no stop loss. Let's do this. A little bit of sellers came in at the top there. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. This is silly. All right. I think we're just in a little 1 minute range. So I think that's pretty much the move over. But you never know. The sellers could defend here. You know, we don't really want to get it higher than basically my entry. Otherwise, that's a failed move, and it's a failed move. So, but we'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll do a stop. Why not? We'll do a stop up here. We're going to full port this. We'll have a big stop. And we're going to target, and I'll leave it running actually throughout the interview. Right. We will target all the way back down to these lows. Why not? Let's do it. Crazy ass trade. What kind of risk reward is this? Imagine this works out. That would be insane. That is a this is so stupid. Does it say the risk reward? 12? 1 to 12, I think. Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, 1 to 12. Yeah. 1 to 12 risk reward. 1 to 12.8 or something. What an insane trade. But stop. I'm trying to select this. Here we go. We'll have a bit of fun on a Friday. I keep clicking the wrong buttons. There we go. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Full port Friday. When is Trade of 8 coming to Ola Prime? Literally very soon. We're talking like a week or so. We're pretty much all set up and ready. Yeah, so it'll be very soon. I passed my fresh bought account evaluation on yep in single trade. What should I do next? This is my have a nice weekend, JC. I would say trade micros, really small amount, and just focus on getting, you know, a couple $100, $150, maybe $200 a day. If you lose 200, leave it. Come back the next day. If you make 200, good. Lock it in. Just focus on getting the small amounts, right? And never get near kind of, you know, your risk limit. That's what I would say. Really protect that funded account. All right. Full port the cash account next. Oh God, hell no. Hell no. Like, even though this is demo, right? This is not real. Even then, I'm a little bit like, I don't know. It's not even real money. Full porting is mental, but it is fun. It is fun to do. I think all right, fine. It's demo, so it doesn't matter. But what it can do though, it can kind of mess up your psychology because then when you are trading your cash account, you think, like say this worked out, you think maybe I should up the size a bit. And then that'll be the one time it doesn't work out and you're now depressed. So yeah. Small wins every time. That's how I like to do it. It's just bit by bit. Every Friday should be full port Friday. We'll make that a thing. Full port Friday. Ryan, how are you, my friend? How are you? Hope you're well. I'm very well. How are you? Are you able to check gold? Yes, I'll check gold in a second. Cruz Anthony, if you're going to short it at 25,800. So right above my stop. Yeah, why not? Look, if this area holds, we're definitely getting a good move. I mean, we're definitely going back down to these kind of lows at least. If this, because we're getting that accumulation. There is again an iceberg here. I think it's profit taking. I don't think it's true, like true sellers entering the market. I think it's just buyers exiting. So I don't think it's really going to cause a massive push down, if any. But things can change. I mean, if sellers decide to come in, they can push this market down should they want to. I mean, let's just look at a cumulative really quick. We were at 4.4. We're now at 4.7. So it's slightly in the favor of sellers, but like marginally. We're talking 300 contracts in favor to the sellers in terms of efficiency. So yeah, like if you had to make, but it could change in one candle. This is the problem. And it is starting to rise a bit. So this is starting to look a little bit more favorable on the sell side now, as buyers are coming in again and kind of failing to make bigger moves. But it's so marginal. 300 contracts is, in my opinion, still flat. It's just not enough volume. If it was like 1,000 contracts, yeah, okay, that would be a lot more weight to it. Now you would say, okay, there's a much higher probability we're going to go down. But 300 contracts, nah. Thanks, Sammy. You guys have the promo for no activation fee. If I bought in Jan, will that apply to Tradeovate as well? Yeah, it will apply to any platform. So yeah. The coupon, Sam25 coupon, is working. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, it's starting to work now. So if you want 25% off any challenge, I believe I don't know if it will work on the CFD one. You can try it, but it should work on all of them, CFD and futures, I think. But yeah, there's the coupon. Sam25 will get you 25% off. A little trick is to buy multiple small 25K accounts, and when you pass the eval, you can buy the 300K accounts on your 80 to 90% sales deal. Make it 1-to-20 ratio of your small accounts. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I honestly, I prefer the smaller accounts. Because that you're less likely to not over trade, but you're less likely to full port them, and you treat it more kind of, I don't know, you treat it a bit differently, the smaller accounts, and I think they're better. Like your risk limits are actually better on them, because like on the 150K account, you got a drawdown of 4,500. On a 50K account, you got two grand. So actually, if you're looking at it, 150 should be 6K if it's going to be the same. Do you see what I mean? But the trick is, if you have the 150K, you should treat the 150K like a 50K and only trade micros and only look at getting, $100, $200 a day or something. Then, yeah, you'll never come close to blowing 4.5K. Do you know what I mean? But what most people do naturally is, just got stopped out. What people mostly do is they up it to like minis. Do you know what I mean? On the 150, and it's a lot easier to blow because you have the margin available to add more size, and that is that's where it becomes dangerous. But I prefer the smaller accounts. You're absolutely right. Have multiple smaller accounts is actually, in my opinion, a bit better than just like one big account. think they're the best deal in terms of price and everything. You get the most bang for your buck on the smaller accounts, I would say. As long as you treat them small, treat them like they are small accounts, which they are, you'll be fine. What's going on here? Okay, well, this area did not hold at all. I thought there would be something. Didn't really hold. So yeah, pretty much bullish now going forward, I would say. Coach Sam, great day today. I'm only up 100, only 2 smaller trades on gold and silver. Very good stuff, Eric. Good to see you. How are you? On the 25K account, you trade 1 micro. On the 300K account, it's like 2 minis. Yeah. Yeah. Micros all the way, man. I'm buying already, 30 points up. Good stuff. Good stuff. So it's created, as we've moved up, it's created all these little gaps in volume. These are good areas then to buy off of. So, but yeah, this whole area wasn't true. Like all the absorption we were seeing was just profit taking. There was no real aggression coming in from the sell side. Nothing really indicated that there was any real, sellers wanting to actually push this market down. This was, buyers from earlier on just taking profit, unloading a bit here, unloading a bit here, unloading a bit here. It wasn't true, true sellers. I struggle with a small account. I usually lose them after 2 weeks of trading. Yeah, I mean, what kind of size are you usually trading on the smaller ones? Delante. I'm always trading micros, always I blow accounts, always on minis. No matter how much I go up, I always blow it at some point or another, and it happens fast. Micro save your account. Yeah, 100%. I would say, even at 150K account, micros. Minis are a surefire way of blowing your account. And I know it's tempting, but yeah, I only stick to micros. I never use minis. Like what kind of size of micros are you, like 2 micros, 5? What kind of because on a 25 case, yeah, I mean, even at micros, like if you're trading anything more than 1 micro, you can blow that. I would say forget the 25K account, go for like 50, gives you a little bit more room. I mean, look, technically the best thing you can do is have the biggest account, right? Like 150, 200, whatever, and then treat that as if it's like a 50K account and only trade micros. Because then you've got a big drawdown limit, but do you know what I mean? You're nowhere near it. Because like the 25K, you're bored, like even at a micro level, you can blow that quite easily. Because it's just a little bit too small. I would say with like a 50K account, I wouldn't want to go over 3 micros would probably be the limit I would want to do, depending on the market conditions. But 1 to 5 micros set up in my confidence. Yeah. So 1 to 5 on a 25K account, yeah, you can still blow it quite easily then. 1 micro on NQ is enough. It is cheaper. Yeah, I agree that what I'm doing now, the valuation will take months to pass, but it's worth it for me. Well, look, I mean, it depends on like with the evaluation. I shouldn't say this, right? And I might even get in trouble for saying this, but the reality is, if you can pass the evaluation quick by essentially full porting, and you're happy to kind of, accept that you're probably going to blow 3-4 evaluations, 1 funded, then do that. Because if it saves you, months of time, and you value your time more than, the $50, $60 or whatever it is for the evaluation, right? Then fair enough. Like, I would say that's legit, like a legitimate strategy to passing and getting to the funded stage quick, right? Like, but you got to be obviously, willing to accept that you are going to blow quite a few evaluations if you're full porting to pass it quickly, right? But once you're funded, that's when you like stop all that shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, never ever do that once you're funded. Once you're funded, you drop right back down to like 1-2 micros, and all you're looking for is just a little bit a day. A little bit at $100, 150. It's fine. Like, either lose or win 150. The moment one of them gets hit, lock out. But the idea is you have a few accounts, right? And you don't want to copy trade all of them. You want to keep like a couple accounts untraded, but only once in a while. So if you have that urge, let's say you've had a bad day and you see a trade, but you shouldn't trade on a losing account. All right, use a different account. Do you know what I mean? Might work out. So you kind of have that backup. And if you should ever blow one, you've got a few other funded that you can, all right, it's no big deal. You do another challenge, get it, just replenish that funded account and rinse and repeat essentially. But if you're doing like 150 a day, 200, some days you're going to do a bit more, other days you're going to do it less, of course. Some days you're going to lose, it's not a big deal. But at least you're almost like guaranteed to get a payout at the end of the month, like pretty much guaranteed. Like, even if you're following just one EMA and you're doing a simple bounce off EMA or whatever, right? And all you're going to do is look for a trending market right now. All right, cool. We're trending. Flick through all the different instruments. This one's trending. EMA. Simplistic strategy. As long as you have that kind of risk profile and that what do you call it? That risk management, and you're willing to just stop if you lose 150, and once you gain 150, you also stop. You're going to have more winning days than losing days. I can guarantee you that. Like, as long as you're really strict with yourself, and you will actually get a payout of some kind at the end of the month, right? And you do that with multiple accounts. That's the trick to winning this game, essentially. I'll decide. Okay, full porting now. Still on my fixed range volume area, 50-minute, and my mark levels are 25,800, 25,761, and hit the middle level of 25,780. Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff. Delonte, yes, I'm having a bad week on my 50K account, but I'm up on my 150K account. Great. Oh, so you have a 150K account. Amazing. Protect that one. Like, drop to micros on that one. I'm pretty sure you probably do. And keep that 150K account, like, forget the fact that it's a 150K account. The only thing that matters is the drawdown limit. If that drawdown limit's 4.5K, you've got 4.5K of fuel in the tank, essentially. That's all you got to look at it. And if your average losing trade at, 1 or 2 micros is, let's say, $120, $130, how many times do you have to lose in a row to ever get near that 4.5K? Like, realistically speaking, it's not going to happen, right? Unless you have like a 30 trade losing streak or something stupid, right? Do you know what I mean? Which is, in that case, like, you're doing something, you probably need to go back to the drawing board, but I doubt that's your issue, right? So yeah, like, you're pretty much there, man. You'd absolutely smash it. And then just take your time with it, man. Bit by bit, every day. I started trading using order flow, price action, passed my 50K challenge in 4 days using 1 mini. Right after passing, I made my buffer 3K. Should I keep trading with 1 minis, or should I go back to micro? Oh, that's a very good question. The fact that okay, so you've already got the buffer, you're past, I would say go back to micros. Because I'll tell you what, like, you've done extremely well right now, but don't let that overconfidence cloud your risk management, right? Because you've done it. You're literally at the stage where because you've got that buffer now as well, where there's nothing holding you back from keeping that account truly long term, and that account paying you, you know, a couple of grand every month, right? So you want to drop that risk really low, go to micros, and just treat it as something that will pay you 1,500, 2K a month, and that's it. And then, you know, work on getting another account and building that one up, and then, you know, bit by bit get more accounts. So definitely go to micros, but really well done, the fact that you know, you've got even got the buffer now. That's incredible. TM Cloud, I know full port, but aggressive scalping on evals using micros, 10 to 20 cons, also depending on ATR. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's again great as well. 4 p.m. Oh shit, it's 4 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go, but definitely, yeah, on the evals, you know, you can be a bit silly and up the risk. Why not? Because you just want to pass it quick. It's completely legit. But everyone, thank you. I will come back on after the meeting, so I don't know how long it will be. Maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, who knows? But it shouldn't be that long, and then I'll be back on for a bit. And yeah, so see you guys in a bit. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.